In this lesson, we'll clean up the bottom of the bumper a little bit and extrude out a little lip there. Okay, so we've got our scoops created in here. What we need to do is clean this curve up a little bit, and then we're just going to pull these faces out to create a nice little some bumper geometry right on the outside there. So if we take a look at this, it's actually not too bad at this point, but you just want to go through from your kind of a top view here, spread things out and kind of try to create this curve. You'll see that some, especially if they're a little bit closer together, you might have a few issues with. So at this point, we're just kind of grabbing these points and even spreading them out a little bit. Like these, you can grab and you can pull them out a little. Just kind of smooth out this curve so that it's not kind of a straight line, straight line, straight line. So it's more of a smooth curve, which is a little bit more of a challenge with working with polygons like this. Just spacing things out a little. And so when you get it where you want it, you can go ahead and select those faces from the back all the way to the front here. All the way up here, just from that wheel all the way up to the front here. And now we're just going to extrude those out. And we know that we want to have a nice sharp edge there, so let's do a real quick extrude. And let's extrude those straight out just a real short distance. Let's repeat that. And now we can extrude out a little bit farther. Okay. And now let's take a look here. Now I like the extrude coming out right here, but let's fade it back in kind of to this part right here. Okay. So I'm just going to grab these points. I'm going to move this one almost all the way back and just move a few of these points. And when you're doing that, you just move them a little bit less each time. Okay. And kind of create that taper that way. Okay, so it starts out all the way out at that point, and then it kind of starts to taper down at this point, all the way in to the where the wheel arch is, right there. All right, you can even pull this guy all the way in here. There we go. Taper that down. And now let's go ahead and sub-D this and see how this is looking. Okay, so it's a little bit soft on the outer portion, so we need to add another loop here. But it's also kind of, you can see here, it's a little bit flat right in there. So what we can do is grab those sub-D points and just pull those out until it looks kind of smoother. Looks a lot better that way. Okay, so let's go ahead and add an edge. Looks like that's up a little bit. Let's go ahead and snap these points. Kind of want these points to be right, kind of straight with the ground there. So I'm going to just grab all these points, just to make sure they're all snapped. And I'm going to go to side view here. You can see that our extrusion didn't go completely straight out because of the normals. It went kind of a little bit. It's a little bit up, so I'm going to just snap those to the grid and then just move them straight up. That's holding down my X key. Just snap them to the grid so they're nice and straight now. Okay. Now these guys I can move down just a little bit. Looks like they're off a little bit too. I just want to straighten them out just a little. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and add an edge loop right along the bottom here, in the top, and maybe one right there. Let's see how that looks. That should be extremely sharp there. Okay. Now you can see we're still getting a little bit of flatness right up here. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that in. Some of this will be solved when we extrude this over and create one piece out of this, because then it will have somewhere to for the subdivision algorithm to calculate to. Right now it's just stopping kind of right here, creating that flat spot. So I'm going to go ahead and, so we're going to extrude this over. I'm going to go ahead and delete these faces right in the center here. There we go. And I think we can go ahead and get rid of these interior faces too. That's going to be one piece all the way across. So on this portion we don't need those. So I'm going to get rid of those. There we go. And we'll have an opportunity to come in here and tweak this stuff a little bit. But right now, I think in the next lesson we're actually going to come in. Now we've got our little bumper piece there. We're going to extrude this front piece over to the center point and mirror that over to the other side. So we have one piece all the way across the front, and then we'll be able to tweak that and extrude the bumper in, or the grill in rather, and get all that straightened out. All right, we'll take care of that in the next lesson.